fifth grade, we are going to be learning about one-point perspective. In one-point perspective, all lines go to the vanishing point. We're using the Smart Notebook tool here on my computer, and what we're first going to do is we're going to use the line tool, and we're going to create a horizon line. A horizon line is where the sky meets the ground. So we're just going to go ahead and put that on our paper, and then we're going to use our shape tool and make a circle, and that circle is going to be our vanishing point. All of our lines that converge from our shape will go to this vanishing point. We're going to put our circle just in the middle of our line, as best as you can in the middle. The first shape that we're going to start with, I'm going to click back on my shape tool, we're going to start with the square. We want our square to be either on the left or the right side of our vanishing point, but underneath the horizon line. So we're going to go ahead and make a square. It doesn't need to be any size. It's easy if one of the points of the square is angled towards the vanishing point. So you can see my tool here. So I'm now going to click on my line tool. A square has 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, but we are only going to make 3 converging lines. And let me show you what those converging lines look like. I'm going to start from one point of my square using my line tool, and I'm going to go straight up to my vanishing point. I'm going to go to the second point of my square, again to the vanishing point, and finally, now the reason why we don't draw a converging line from our fourth point is because then it would look like it's going through the shape, and we don't want to do that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create some parallel lines, and parallel lines are 2 lines that are going in the same direction. We're going to create a parallel line that's parallel with the top of the square, and another parallel line that is parallel with the side of the square. So I'm going to use my line tool. Let me go ahead and get my ruler. So I'm going to get my ruler, and I'm going to line it up with the top of my square. You can make your parallel line as far down the converging lines as you'd like, as long as it remains parallel with the top of the square. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to move it up, staying parallel with the top of my square. I'm going to use my line tool, and I'm going to draw a parallel line just like that. Let me move my ruler out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Now, I'm going to rotate my ruler because I need it to be vertical. So I can now come down to the side of my square, and I'm going to make another parallel line. However, it's going to be parallel to the side of my square, but it will be perpendicular to the top of my square. So I'm going to get my line tool, and I'm going to make another parallel line. Let me move my ruler out of the way. And there you have a flat square that we turned into a 3-dimensional cube using one-point perspective. We are now going to do a rectangle in a one-point perspective, and because a rectangle has 4 sides, we're going to go ahead and make it vertical. So we'll go ahead and put this one on the opposite side of the vanishing point. Try to make sure that the point of the rectangle is angled towards the vanishing point. So, if you remember, first we are going to go ahead and make our 3 converging lines, starting from each point. 1, 2, 3, and remember that you can't go through the shape, so this one will not have a converging line. While my ruler is vertical, I'm going to go ahead and line it up with the side of my rectangle and make that parallel line using my line tool. I'm going to go ahead and create that parallel line. I'm I'm going to go ahead and then turn my ruler so it's horizontal. And I will then line my ruler up with the top of my rectangle. And I'm creating a parallel line with the top of the rectangle, but it's then going to be perpendicular with the side, like so. Boys and girls, we just learned how to make a rectangle using 1-point perspective and a square using 1-point perspective. We've turned the square into a cube. We've turned the rectangle into a rectangular prism. In our next video, we will learn how to turn a triangle into a triangular prism using 1-point perspective and a circle into a sphere using 1-point perspective. Thank you for watching.